Welcome to episode 16 of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. My name is Lisa and I am coming to you from Long Island, New York. So it's been a couple of weeks since I did a normal episode. In case you guys missed last week's episode, I brought you guys to Brooklyn with me and we did an interview with Catherine Clark of Brooklyn General and the designer behind the Knock 2-A-Day sweater that I test knit. So that was a really exciting episode, a departure from the normal, which is what you guys are going to get today. And I really enjoyed doing it. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, I encourage you to do so. I am excited to catch you guys up on finished objects and the status of some whips that you guys have been seeing in my previous videos. So let's just get right into it today. So I'm trying out some new lighting today. My husband was kind enough to pick up a couple of additional lights for me to hopefully illuminate my podcast area a little bit more and make the yarn and the labels and everything really show up more true to color and more easy to read on screen. So you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully this is an improvement from past episodes. I've been doing the best that I can with a poorly lit basement, and so hopefully the addition of a couple of extra lights will hopefully improve the quality of this video for your enjoyment. So let me know what you think about that, but let's just get into it with what am I wearing? So today I am wearing my Soldotna crop, a pattern by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. You guys have, if you've been with me since the earlier episodes, you guys might have seen this one before. I wore it in episode 4 and I did talk about it a lot in that episode. So I don't want to go into too much detail on that today since I have other exciting things to talk about on today's podcast. But I thought that I would at least let you know the yarn that I used and show it to you guys again, since a lot of you might not have seen that video. So the yarn that I used for the sweater is from Shanna from Lamb Strings Yarn. And this was the main body color that I used. And it is so gorgeous. I don't have the labels right with me here, but I do have everything listed on my project page on Ravelry. So if you're interested to find out what any of these colors are, you can just check out my project page on Ravelry, and I will have that linked below this video for you guys. So this was the little gold part that I used there. And then I think that this one's called Pavement, actually. I think I remember that, which is the white color that I used. Her colors are so pretty. So you can see that this one has the specks of the gold and the purple in there. And this is actually all of the purple that I have left. But it's such a beautiful color. It's like a purple with like a black around it. So pretty. So you guys can even see like these three together, like that pavement color has both of these specks in there. And then this is the other one that we brought in. So Shanna was amazing and she helped me pick the colors for this sweater and she just did such a great job. I think that my favorite thing about this sweater is actually the yarn and the colors. It's just so pretty. So I'll just do a little bit of a close-up there for you guys. It looks really, really nice. Yeah, so I will link below the other episode that I talked about this sweater in. I had it in a little bit more detail. I think I even took it off and showed you guys my floats, and see, look, floats. So yeah, if you're interested in hearing more about that, I think it was episode 4, but I'll link it below just in case I have that wrong. Okay, so let's talk finished objects. Okay, so I do have a few finished objects to share with you guys. I have a bit of a sad story about my first one. Okay, so I'm going to post some pictures because I no longer have a finished object for this sweater. You guys know I have been doing a bunch of test knits for Annie Lupton of Boho Chic Fabric Co. And a week and a half ago, she came out with her Scrappy Crop, which is a super cute cropped chunky weight sweater. And I had it done and I was all excited about it. And then a disaster happened. So yeah, so I have some kind of, it's kind of a bummer because now I have a lot more work to do. So I'm gonna have to just insert pictures of me. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm sure that you probably saw the finished object photos there or on my Ravelry. But here is what the finished sweater looks like. It's really cute. And now mine looks like this. So if you guys notice, I'm missing a sleeve. Okay, so let me tell you guys my sad saga. So I had it done. I was thrilled with it. The yarn that I used for this was Lion Brand's Thick and Quick because I am doing so many test knits and I can't fund every single test knit with new yarn, right? So I didn't have chunky weight yarn in my stash. And so I was looking for an affordable option to make this sweater. And so I decided to go with Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. And I really like it. I really like working with the yarn. So the problem is that the gauge that I got for this sweater, it was a little bit smaller than the gauge that Annie got in her original design for the pattern. So I thought that I compensated enough by, I was kind of in between, do I knit a size 2? Do I knit a size 3? Because for this sweater, normally I go with a size 3. But for this sweater, the way that she wrote it, there wasn't as much positive ease. It was supposed to be a little bit more fitted. So I was like, oh, size 2, size 3. And then when I started knitting it up and figured out what my gauge was, I decided, all right, my gauge is a little smaller. I'm going to need to go up to size 3 for sure. And I thought that was going to be great and fine. And it is for the body. So the body of this sweater fits really, really well. I have no complaints about the body. Maybe the deep V isn't as deep as it could be. But the body of this sweater fits me very, very comfortably. However, the sleeves are very small. They are very tight. And because of the way that this pattern was knit, you're changing colors of stripes every like 3 rounds. And so that left so many ends to weave in, which I had talked to you guys about before. And the problem with that, I mean, other than just having a gazillion ends to weave in, which was super annoying, but just not my favorite thing to do. The problem is that because of the chunkiness of the yarn, so I didn't want to cut away the ends until after I had blocked my sweater. But the ends took up so much room inside the sleeve that like I couldn't even try it on to make sure that it fit ahead of time or anything. So I was able to block, like you can see, like this stretches this way. And also because this is a yarn that has a very high content, acrylic content in it, it doesn't hold its shape in blocking. It just kind of wants to go back. But there is a little bit of wool. So you can see like it has give this way, but it doesn't have give this way very much. So this is supposed to be a fitted sleeve, and it was very fitted, but it turned out to be too fitted on me. And I was able to wear this long enough to get some really, really fun, really nice finished object photos for Annie for her pattern release. But then when I took this off and I was trying to put it over like a different shirt to have like another outfit to show off for how to pair with the sweater. And when I was changing, the seam popped right open on the sleeve. And I think that it was a combination of two things. I don't think that this has anything to do with Annie's pattern. I think the wool, she chose 100% wool for her pattern. So I think that, you know, the fiber content actually can make a really big difference when you are wanting to replicate a specific sweater. And so I'm sure that even though like that, the sleeves with the wool are still fitted, you can block those out a little bit more because wool just has a little bit more give to it than acrylic. And so between the fiber content and just the fact that like you can even see one of my ends is popped out over here now, but the stability of the fabric with having to change colors every 3 rounds, a lot of the stability from the fabric ended up relying on how well you wove in those ends. So probably, I have never had this happen before. I'm going to insert a picture over here so you guys can see my big moment of dread with when my elbow popped through my sleeve. That was not I was not happy. You do all this work to have a sweater and then you put it on for some pictures and then when you take it off, it rips right open. It's not Annie's fault. It's not the pattern. This was me. I probably, with this particular yarn, should have even sized up to a size 4. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I mean, I'm not excited to have to do it because, you know, it's like you have a finished object. You want it to be done. You want it to be checked off the list. No, you don't. So I ripped out the sleeve right away because I was like, okay, I don't even know if I have enough yarn left to fix it. It's all because of all of the stripes. The yarn is all in pieces. So I've got like big strands, but I had already cut off, like snipped away all of the ends. So I don't know. My plan is to go back and pick up more stitches. I think I'm gonna knit the sleeves for like the size 4 and I'm gonna just do one sleeve first and I want to see if that fixes it. So hopefully just going up a size for the sleeves will not make it so tight on my arms, and that way, like when I move around, hopefully the fabric won't get compromised just by my movement. But you know, you just learn through trying different things, through trying different yarns. I don't knit garments out of chunky yarn ever. It's just I have done accessories in a chunky yarn. So, you know, it's just not something that I have a lot of experience using. And I think that the fiber content can work, but I needed to take extra into consideration that there was a lot of acrylic and that I was not going to have the flexibility of like stretching out in the blocking process to accommodate for maybe needing more give in the yarn. So I would knit this again, but I would choose a different yarn. If you have a look at Annie's project page for her Scrappy Crop, all of the other test knitters, like they turned out so cute. Some of the testers used like their own hand spun yarn. So hand spun is a great idea for a sweater like this. A lot of her testers were gifted the yarn, the Pearl Soho yarn, for the pattern because it was a new yarn that Pearl Soho came out with. And so 5 lucky people got to work with that yarn, and their sweaters turned out absolutely great. So, you know, I think it's just me needing to have knit a slightly bigger size, or to have knit the same size with a yarn that had a different fiber content in it. So I'm going to try to redo the sleeve. If I like how the size 4 sleeve fits on this one when I redo it, then that's what I'll do for this sleeve over here. I don't feel like ripping out this sleeve just yet. Yeah, but it's been sitting because I've had a lot of other things that have needed my attention, and the sweater, honestly, I was very mad at it, and so it has been in timeout until me pulling it out just right now for you guys. So we'll see. I think that it's a cute sweater. If it turns out that I like the fit of the sleeve when I redo it, then I will probably keep it for myself. I could also see myself gifting this to my niece, who is 13. I think that she would pull this off quite nicely. So yeah, so that is the sad tale of the Scrappy Crop test knit. Yeah, that was a huge bummer. So, but we have some happier finished objects, so let's move on to those. So my next finished object is also a test knit for Annie of Boho Chic Fiber Co. This one is called the Journi Tee. I was supposed to be able to show this to you guys today because this pattern was supposed to come out last week, but Annie had to delay the release of the pattern, and so I just took my sweet time finishing it up, blocking it and putting on some finishing touches. So I did just go take some finished object photos of it. I can't show you guys. This pattern will be out on Tuesday, March 9th. So I think Tuesday is the 9th, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. So, you know, this is, you will be able to see it soon. If you guys are interested in seeing what this looks like, just make sure that you head on over to my Instagram or my Ravelry page on Tuesday, and you guys will be able to see what this looks like. But I'm going to show you the inside out version so that I'm not giving anything away. So I love this sweater, actually. This is so cozy. The yarn is amazing. Yarn, this is why I knit with yarns that I knit with, because it makes a huge difference in your finished garment. Look at my floats, you guys. So this is a short sleeve sweater. It's like a little tee, which is really cute, and it's got color work on both sides. And so you'll see I put I got a hair on it. The design is the same, exactly the same on the front and on the back. So there was no telling which side was which side. And so I decided to put like a cute little, this is the back label on it. So I have these labels that I picked up from Kylie and the Machine. I'm pretty sure that I showed these off in like maybe episode 1, I think. I think this was all the way back. So I got this cute little tin to hold my labels from Kylie and the Machine, and it looks so cute on the back too. And then I'll just show you, like, I just have like an assortment of different fun labels in there. So the one that I chose for this sweater is, obviously, it just says, this is the back. There we go. It just says, this is the back. So I have several sweaters that I just need to go ahead and attach this label to, because I have several that I'm always examining it before I put it on. Like, okay, which is the front, which is the back? No idea. So those are come in really handy. So yeah, there's a whole lot of fun labels in there, and you guys should just go check her website out to see everything that she offers. She is based, I think, in New Zealand, but there are stockists everywhere. I think I ordered these online from somewhere, I don't know, somewhere. I picked a few up in person in Alabama right before the pandemic hit, right before everything closed down. And yeah, and then I just ordered some more online. And so I'm excited to have my little, this is the back label. I don't know how well you can see it like on the sweater itself, but super cute. So that's the only way I'm going to be able to tell what is the front and what is the back. So I mean, I can tell you guys a little bit the construction that I used to knit this up. This was done in, I should go grab it actually. Actually, it's right here. My the yarn that I used for this sweater, I will definitely be buying this yarn again. So this is what it looks like caked out. I have just a solid purple and a variegated. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners, the Croft, and it is 100% Shetland wool. So this is what the label looks like there. And the dark purple is the color Quendale, and the lighter white with the light purple specks is called Clousta. So I absolutely love this yarn. It is so soft. It was an absolute pleasure to knit with. I'll show you guys a little bit of just the stockinette part. That doesn't give anything away. The stitch definition is amazing. So pretty. Love this yarn. It is so, so soft. So if you guys ever have the opportunity to check this yarn out, definitely I 1000% recommend this yarn. I will be purchasing it again. Actually, Gudrun Johnson just released a sweater a day or two ago where she used this yarn like one of the variegated skeins for the entire sweater. And I think it's got pockets too. So cute. So that, it's not going to be something that I go out and buy more yarn to do that, because I have so many things that I am just needing to get cast on. But that is definitely on my radar. Like when I buy this yarn again, I think that sweater would be really, really cute. So yeah, so the construction of this one. So we started by casting on, and we knit in the round from bottom up. And then when we split for the front and back, the color work was actually done flat. So I was a little bit like worried that that was going to be a super slow process because just of having to purl on the color work side. But I actually, I'm finding that when I do my color work flat, I really enjoy the tension that I get. Nothing pulls, nothing puckers. I don't know. It's just, it has a really nice balance, and I can't wait to be able to show you guys the front of this so that you can see like how perfectly the color work came out. But I mean, you can even just see the floats. Like it's just so, they're so even. It's so nice. And honestly, like purling the color work, because I'm a continental style knitter, it's a little bit slow. Like there were some rounds where it was like every stitch was just alternating colors. And so those rounds took a long time because with holding all of the yarns the way that I knit with the yarns in my left hand, I'd have to every single time wrap the yarn and drop it. And yeah, so that was a little bit slow for certain rounds. It might not be so bad if you're used to doing like two-handed stranded knitting. I just don't know how to do that. So I don't know that anybody ever gets very excited about doing stranded color work flat because of the purling color work. Let me know if you've tried it. If you guys have tried it, if you are a continental style knitter or if you are a thrower, and just how do you find that it is knitting flat color work? From what I can tell, most people avoid it like the plague. Or are we going to start saying like avoid it like the coronavirus? I don't know. I didn't find it that bad. I probably wouldn't want to do it for like color an entire garment of color work, but to do it just on like the yoke, it wasn't really that big a deal. So, and then I did a new to me bind off at the neck. Was Annie used an I-cord bind off, and I had never done one of those before, so that was super easy. And it gives like this really nice, I just don't want to show too much here, but it gives like a really nice edge. So like her style is kind of, so like the sleeves and the neckline look a little bit unfinished, but polished still. So yeah, so check out, be sure to check out on Tuesday when her pattern is released, and I will be posting all of the finished object photos on Instagram and on my Ravelry projects page, which I will link down below. So I'm sorry that I can't really show that to you guys today as planned, but at this point it's only a couple days away, so I don't feel like too terrible. So, all right, so that's my only other finished garment. I have a hoe. That I want to show you guys. I have been slowly knitting on these socks, and these were socks that I cast on like a day or two before Valentine's Day. Obviously, these look very, very festive. So this is yarn from Knitterly Things. I don't have the label right here on me, so I don't remember the exact name of the color, but it was from her sock yarn club from February 2020, so from a year ago. So the pattern that I used for this is a Kate Atherly basic ribbed socks pattern, and so the entire cuff and leg was done in a 3x1 ribbing. And then the heel, I just did everything the way that she had it in the pattern. So it was a regular heel flap and gusset. Normally I do a slip stitch heel, but she didn't write a slip stitched heel. It was just a stockinette heel for this. So that was what I did. And then of course the instep continued the 3x1 rib all the way until the toe. And then the bottom of the foot was done just regular stockinette stitch. So yeah, so that was my hoe of the week. I've been working on this just a little bit here and a little bit there, like while Owen has been in his theater rehearsals. This is what I bring in the car with me, so I only have barely done the beginning of the second sock there. So these are, what are these? These are my Chow Goose, and these are size are these? I want to say that they're a size 1, I think. Yeah. Chow Goo, size 1. No, these are a 0. That's why these are a little snugger on me, okay. Oh, okay. These are a size 0. I thought I was knitting on size 1. I was like, these socks feel a little smaller than normal. So I did 56 stitches, and I usually do 60, but, well, I usually do either between 56 and 60, but I usually knit my socks on a size 1 needle, so I didn't realize I was actually using a size 0. So that's why they are maybe a little bit smaller on me than other socks that I've knit, but they still fit well. Probably, though, if I'm going to be using my size 0 needles, I just want to do maybe not so much ribbing. So, yeah, so maybe more of like a plain vanilla sock next time on these needles. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing, just magic loop method on these. A lot of the times I will use my DPNs, but this is just what I grabbed in the moment. I really have no preference. I love using double pointed needles. I love using magic loop. It's just kind of like whatever's going on at the time. Okay, so that is my hoe, which is also a whip, but I do still have one more finished object, and that is this guy. I got my hippo finished, you guys. So, oh my goodness. I stayed up way too late last night finishing this guy. That was noisy. Don't usually hear the street traffic from down in the basement. Yeah, so, okay. So this is my hippo. Actually, this is Owen's hippo. Owen had a little bit of a rough couple days in the middle of the week. I'm not going to get into it here. He's good. Everything is good. But I thought that it would make him feel better if I actually just finished this guy up. Because the other day, all that he was a muzzle, 2 arms, and a leg. And yeah. So this is, I don't know what Owen has named him. So Owen was really excited to meet this guy this morning before he went to school. He really wanted to take it to school. He was not happy about leaving it home, but he's not allowed to bring things to school. So this is Roxie the Hippo is the name of the pattern. And so this is Lolo Did It's mascot. And this guy is big because I had used a worsted weight yarn. So if you guys remember, several weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, we got a blizzard here, and Owen and I made a video tutorial on how to dye yarn with snow and using Kool-Aid. So we have a really fun video tutorial on how we made the yarn to make this hippo. Can you believe that this was dyed with Kool-Aid? Let me try to get the, no, there we go. Look at how pretty that looks. I think that this turned out so well. I love the little ears. So, so you just kind of like hold the hippo from up here. I think that this yarn, I don't think that anybody would ever guess that this yarn was dyed with Kool-Aid. I love it. Perfect for a hippo too. Let me show you where it is. It's over there. Of course, everything is not with me right now. Okay, so this is what I have left of the yarn that we dyed. So this, the base was just a Cascade 220, 100% wool, and it was just a natural colored base. So just completely bare, undyed yarn. And I had it in my stash. So you guys, officially a stash project. And the other yarn, this gray yarn that I used, I've told you guys too, also came from my stash. The gray yarn is pretty deep stash, like at least 8 years ago. So yeah, so I'm so excited to have this guy. I don't know what his name is yet. I don't know if Owen has come up with a name. Owen is going to be home from school in like 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to get some footage for a Knitworthy section. So I don't know if I'm going to maybe I'll rearrange my sections here. I think I have some other whips to show you guys today as well. But I think maybe from here, we will go on to Knitworthy so that we can see what Owen thinks about his new hippo. But I just wanted to show you that I also put a tag on the hippo's bum. Of course, it's a Kylie and the Machine tag, and it says, "Yo mama made it," which I just think is hilarious. It's so funny. So yeah, I was like, I've got to use that tag. Guy needs a needs a little tag on his bum. There. I slept with him. I finished him at like 3:30 in the morning. I really wanted to have him ready for recording today on the podcast, and I knew that Owen would really like him a lot. So I don't know what we're gonna name you. I was kind of thinking like Thomas could be fun because like hippopotamus, so Thomas or something. I have a feeling that his name is going to just end up being like Hippo, which is totally cool because we've got Bunny and we've got Mouse, and so now we've probably just got Hippo. But yeah, this was a fun one to make. I actually used so many things to stuff him up. I used all of the ends that not quite all of them. I have, wait, where are they? Here they are. Everything's everywhere today. So I still have like just a little bit of ends from the sweater that hates me right now. A lot of the ends ended up inside the hippo, and the purple floof pilled that I depilled off my sweater is all inside of his muzzle, and there's just a lot of other random like ends in here, and of course there's a whole bunch of polyfill. My plan was to not buy any more polyfill and to just have get that better, and to just use up the rest of my polyfill, and then to just start collecting like my ends and my shavings from my sweaters to use as stuffing. But I actually ran out of polyfill in the body because this guy is so big. And so I needed to get more polyfill yesterday in order to finish his head. So, because I just didn't have enough. But I'm just absolutely thrilled with how he turned out. And so I think that we are going to go take a little break and say hi to Owen when he gets home from school, because he was really sad to have to leave this guy at home. But I snuggled with him last night in bed, and then Owen took him this morning, and then after Owen went to school, I was back in bed snuggling with the hippo some more. So yeah, so this is Lolo Did It's Roxie the Hippo pattern. I think I said that, but what's great about it is it uses one skein of worsted weight yarn, or just, you can use anything like fingering weight, DK weight. I mean, it's a stuffed animal. You can just, as long as you have like the needles and the yarn make a fabric that you like, the only thing it's going to change is the size of your stuffed animal. So the bigger yarn and needles you use, the bigger hippo you're going to get. If you did this guy in a fingering weight yarn, he'd probably be like this big, which is so cute too. So yeah, but he's like the perfect size to snuggle in bed with. So yeah, so I am definitely going to need to hand this back over to Owen now in a minute when he gets off of the bus, and we'll try to get some knitworthy footage for you guys and get Owen's thoughts on the hippo. So if he cooperates, then we will have a little segment with Owen in it in a few minutes. So, okay, bye. 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 Okay.
Hi, my name is Owen, and this is the brand new hippo Mommy just made me.
And what's the hippo's name?
Pinky!
Why is it Pinky?
Because he had pink all over.
Yeah, do you remember how we made the yarn to make?
We dyed it!
Dyed it with what?
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and?
Snow.
Yeah. And did we make a video about that?
Yes.
And was that super cool?
Yes.
Do you think that the yarn looks great as a hippo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks really super cute.
Is this all of the yarn you had?
Yeah, I used just about all of it to make that hippo. Can you believe it?
No.
No.
Way.
Can you believe how big this hippo turned out?
Oh, he's bigger than Bunny
Way
Mouse.
bigger than Bunny and Mouse, right?
No, Bunny is like this tall.
Yeah.
And Hippo's
Well, you
fat.
could, do you want to run up there and get Bunny and Mouse and show everybody size
Sure,
comparison?
this is how big
Whoa.
Bunny is compared.
Hippo's huge. Pinky, I mean. Pinky is huge, isn't she? Wait, is
Yes.
Pinky a girl or a boy?
Go.
Okay. And then Mouse and Bunny
Can
look
I
so
hold
tiny.
Mouse?
But you know what? Yeah. Bunny, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how small she is compared to Hippo.
Hippo is huge. But you know what? This makes sense. What kind of voice is Pinky going to have?
Yay!
That kind of
Mouse's
sounds like
voice.
Mouse's voice. Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
because they're both girls.
So, is Pinky super huggable?
Yes.
So what do you
Ready
need?
for washing.
For washing? Washing or watching?
Watching.
Yeah? Do you think people should give this video a thumbs up?
Mhm.
Yeah? Do you think that they should subscribe?
Mhm.
Yeah? All right. So if you enjoyed seeing Owen and his new hippo, then make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Mommy's Stop Drop and Knit channel so that you don't ever miss awesome videos like this. Right? And can you say bye,
Yes.
Pinky?
Bye.
Hey guys, okay, I am back. It is now nighttime. It is maybe 9:45 at night. Owen is now tucked into bed with Pinky the hippo. I think it actually might be Pinky the hippo, I think is what he just told me. But he and Pinky are tucked into bed along with Bunny and Mouse. And so now I've got a cup of tea. I am drinking passionberry tea tonight because no caffeine. And it's very yummy. This is my Clipper Ship tea that my husband gets me from Huntington. Yeah, and so now I am ready to tell you guys about the rest of my whips and catch you up on those. Okay, so there's really just one big whip that I have been actively working on aside from the finished objects that I have already shown you, and that is my Garland sweater. This is my Garland pullover, and this is gorgeous. I'm so excited about this one. Oh my goodness. So this is a test knit, another test knit. And I am doing this test for Stephanie Lotvin, and I love this sweater. So she's got two different versions of this pattern. She has a version where you can do what I'm doing and put little holly berries at the end of these leaves, or what you could do is just, instead of the holly berries, you just do the same solid color, and it just looks like any kind of garland leaves. Yeah, so I have finished the yoke, and I've divided for the sleeves, and I haven't measured how much of the body I've done. What is required of me for this test knit, which is due now the 13th of March, so pretty soon, is that I do the yoke, which is done, 3 inches of the body. So we're getting close to that. I haven't measured. I've been working on this while I have been on Zoom because I had finished the color work and now it's just stockinette. And then the only thing I have to get done aside from just 3 inches of the body is 1 sleeve in time for the pattern release. So I'm not too stressed about this one. I think I'm going to be working on the body just as my Zoom knitting for just when I am on Zoom. And I think this weekend I am going to put a different set of needles on the sleeve and get that done, because I am sure that there's all kinds of sleeve shaping with decreases and things like that, and I don't want to be working on a sleeve while I am on Zoom. So that is my plan. I think I can knock out a sleeve, especially since now on Tuesday my lessons at the college have been rescheduled until April because they're doing some kind of recording session. So I have gained a day next week to just knit all day, which is fantastic. So yeah, so my plan is to get the sleeve done. And at the very least, then I will have completed my commitment as far as the test knit goes, like the minimum commitment. And so then anything that I get done beyond that will be fine. I mean, I would like to get the whole sweater done in time for the release on the 13th, or I don't know if it's exactly going to be released on March 13th, but that's when she wants all the test knits kind of collected up and rounded photos and all of that stuff. I cannot talk. Yeah, so if I get it done, I get it done. If not, I've got a really great start on a Christmas sweater, and I'll probably, if I don't get it done by the test knit deadline, I'll probably end up just setting it aside until maybe July or closer to the fall and just getting it done. I want to get as much of it done because I don't want to be like 2 weeks before Christmas and like, oh gosh, I never finished that Christmas sweater. So I think I will try to get as much of it done as I can, but it's a really good feeling to know that I am pretty much just a single sleeve away from meeting the test knit minimum requirement. So let me hold it up close for you guys. It is so pretty. This is gonna look so gorgeous when blocked. It's so nice. I wonder if the sparkle is coming through at all on the camera. So the yarns that I'm using for this is Barrett Wilco's Wisconsin Woolen Spun fingering weight. And then the color work is done in these 3 minis, which just came with some of my sock yarn from Knitterly things. So all of this yarn was in my stash. So that also feels really good to have been knocking out a sweater using things that I already had. So you can definitely see the shimmer in the yarn there. And then this green one, you can maybe not see it as well, but it is definitely in there. I don't know why the camera doesn't want to pick it up in that color. And then the red mini is actually the coordinating heel and toe yarn that I snatched from the Valentine sock that I showed you guys earlier. So this was just all minis that came with sock yarn from my huge, it's behind me here, not this shelf, but below it. I have a stash, half of my stash of Knitterly things sock yarn, and she always sends minis along. So when I was just figuring out what the color work was for this sweater, I don't buy minis, so I just said, oh, you know what, Julia always sends some minis because I elected to have the minis included along with my sock yarn. Let me see what colors she has, and I was able to just pull it together. And yeah, I'm really, really loving this so much. I just think these colors are so joyful for the Christmas season. And yeah, I haven't tried it on yet, but I am very confident that this is going to fit beautifully. I am not at all worried about it. I am knitting this in the 3rd size. I don't know how many sizes she has total, but it's a lot. It's very size inclusive from what I can tell. The only reason I haven't tried it on really is because these, I didn't put it on waist yarn for the sleeves. I put it on these metal stitch holders that I have. And so yeah, that's the only reason. But I really should just either put it on waist yarn all the time or just invest in some of those more flexible cord options for holding stitch holder cords or something, so that I could try it on more easily. So yeah, so that is basically what I have been working on. I mean, the color work part I had finished before I went into Brooklyn to film the interview. So the color work yoke has been done for a while, and basically, I mean, I haven't put any like dedicated knitting time on this. I have only worked on this while on Zoom. So I was able to get that much done just yeah, throughout multitasking, which has been really great. Yeah, so let's see. Basically, my focus has been in really wanting to finish things. I am really wanting to finish things that I have started. I have a lot of projects that you guys have been seeing for quite some time, and I am just ready. I am feeling very ready to get a whole bunch of fresh projects on my needles, but I am hesitant to just start casting on things before I have finished a bunch of things. So with that in mind, I am making a promise to you guys and to myself, because you guys have, it's been months, right, that I have been working on my worsted boxy. Now, I did not do any more work on this. This is so close to being done that it is kind of ridiculous that I have not finished this already. But my test knits, those have deadlines, and so those come first. However, it is now March, and I have a green sweater, and I really want to have this done in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. So that's coming up. I don't even know like what date St. Patrick's Day is. Is it the 17th? Okay, so I just confirmed, yes, St. Patrick's Day is the 17th, and looking at the calendar, my husband has informed me that the 17th is a Wednesday. And that means that I have one more podcast to record before St. Patrick's Day. I am promising you guys that next week, this will be a finished object. It will at least be a finished object. Not only would I like to have it be a finished object, but I would like to be wearing this when I film my podcast next week. So that is my plan. This will be getting off the needle soon, because all I have left to do on it, it's ridiculous, is a neckband. Okay, now, I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram stories, but I don't like picking up stitches for neckbands. I don't mind picking up stitches for like socks. That's easy. Neckbands though, they're kind of a pain, and it's not something that I enjoy. So I kind of always get to this point and I'm just like, all right, I'm done with that for now. Like, I'll just do that another day. But you know, it's been a few episodes and this has still remained in this situation of the whole body being done, no neckband and no sleeves. That's all that is left, you guys. It's really not that much knitting at all. So yeah, I mean, I do have a bunch of test knits that I'm still committed to doing. But after the Christmas one, those deadlines are not until April. So as long as I get started on them, I feel like this is really gonna just take a couple of days to finish, because like there's not that much sleeves because of the way this sweater is. It's really boxy, right? So this is already falling to like halfway between my shoulder and elbow. So if you think about it, like it's not that much sleeve really that needs to happen on both sides. But yeah, so it's so funny when I hold it up, it looks so different in the light. And then like when I just hold it here and let the camera focus on its own, then it looks like this. I think that's gonna look so gorgeous. I'm really enjoying this yarn and this colorway. Just in case you guys are new here and haven't seen the previous episodes where I've talked about the worsted boxy, obviously it's a pattern by Journi Tee, and the yarn that I am using to knit it up in is Malabrigo Rios, which is the same yarn that Journi used in her pattern. And my color is Va, and it's gorgeous. I really like it. It's not the purple that I usually gravitate to, and I love it even more because of that. So yes, I am making a commitment to having this worsted boxy done by next week's podcast. So yeah, I'm holding myself to that. And then I'll be able to wear it on St. Patrick's Day that week, and just, you know, it's freezing here still. I mean, it's like, we've had a couple of days where it's been like 50s, and kind of that fool's spring kind of situation going on. But today it was like really freezing. And like a few days ago, like we had this crazy wind here, and it got to like where the wind chill was like 9 degrees or something. So I mean, it is still cold. So I am still going to have plenty of time, even not getting this done until mid-March. I am still going to be able to get plenty of wear out of this before the weather is really too warm. And at the point where the weather becomes too warm, I might just need to knit a fingering weight version of this sweater, because this was an enjoyable knit, super enjoyable knit, super easy. I'm just going to flip it around so that you guys can see this cool, the garter stitch section at the top on the sleeves and everything. Look at how beautiful that yarn is looking on camera right now. So nice. Really enjoying these new lights that my husband got to help with my podcast. So yeah, so pretty, loving it. All right, so that is the status of that. Now, the other project that I have not worked on yet, but you guys have been asking me about, are my Bernie mittens. So I've not started these yet. I have come another step in the process, and I have wound my yarn into cakes so that it is ready to go. I found, see, sometimes it really pays off to procrastinate on starting something. I mean, when I first talked about doing the Bernie mittens, this was a month ago, right? Easily a month ago. And everybody was just coming out with their patterns. So the patterns that I was finding for it were just the back part of the mitten color work all the way around the mitten. And I really, really, really wanted to make the Bernie mittens look as similar to the actual mittens that Bernie wears, which I'll put some pictures in to refresh everyone's memory. But there's like a solid color on the palm, and there's different color work on the thumb section. And because it's sweaters that have been cut up and sewn together, right? So I really wanted to make them look as similar to that as possible. But I'm not a pattern writer yet. I mean, the only pattern that I've ever made up, and it's not written down yet, is the sweater that I did for Owen based on his drawing at Christmas time. I think I've knit maybe like 1 pair of colorwork mittens ever. So I was procrastinating because I was like, oh gosh, all right, somebody else, there's going to be somebody eventually who is going to do the work for me, right? And like just make a pattern for these mittens that look more similar, with incorporating more of the colors much more closely to Bernie's actual mittens. And so a month later, we have some really fun patterns to choose from. Now, I did find a pattern, and I'm going to have to insert the name of it on the screen because I don't have it offhand. It is a free pattern. I have found a few that incorporate like the different colors of the mittens. Some of them people are charging quite a bit of money for, and you know, that's all good, except that I think that the idea behind making the Bernie mittens in the first place was that the people were doing the patterns and giving them away for free and asking, instead of buying the pattern, for you to make a donation to a charity like Meals on Wheels, something that Bernie supports. And it wasn't really sitting right with me, the idea of paying for a pattern. I mean, I could pay for a pattern and also make a donation, but all of these other designers were basically just donating a free pattern for this cause. And that for me personally, that sits better with me than paying for a pattern when there are so many other versions that designers have donated for free, donated their time for the pattern, including some that are in much greater detail as well, like the ones that I am choosing to knit. So anyway, I am going to make my donation to Meals on Wheels when I finally start knitting up this pattern. But the pattern that I chose is free, and I will have it linked in the description box below so that you guys can access that as well. And so I have already downloaded the pattern. The yarn that I chose for the mittens was Green Mountain Spinnery's Mountain Mohair, and I had ordered right away. I had ordered the 6 colors that I wanted to use. And then when I got this pattern, the pattern actually calls for 7 colors because I'll stick it up here so you guys can see the thumb of the mitten. Actually, if you look really closely, it's not just like a cream and a green, but the cream part of it also has some very light gray colorwork detail as part of that texture, and to add a lot of dimension. So the pattern calls for 7 colors, and so I was just missing one. So I hopped back onto the Green Mountain Spinnery website, and I found this one here. And so this is Blizzard, and this is going to be so great. So I'm going to show you guys my colors again because it's been a while. So I think this one is called Edelweiss, and this is the cream. And then I just picked up Blizzard. And then for the green, I think that this one is called Sea Glass. And so these are the colors that I'm going to be using for the thumb section, the thumb gusset part of the mitten. And then the palm part of the mitten is blue. And Bryce, these are for my husband. So he really liked this color blue. I think that this one is called, I'm going to check. I think it's called Sea Glacier. No, Glacier Lake. Pretty close. So this one is called Glacier Lake. And this is a really, really nice blue. And there's definitely like a lot of depth of color to these yarns. I don't know that I've held them up like really closely for you guys to see. So that's the Glacier Lake. And then the Sea Glass. So it's just really, really beautiful green. And then the Blizzard, it kind of reminds me of like Dirty Snow. So I think it is very appropriately named. And then this is like the bear one is the 80. So I don't think there's gonna be too much of depth of color there. I think it should be very bare. So those are the 4 colors that are not the brown. And then, so this one you use in both parts, also the thumb gusset and then also the colorwork part of the mitten. So I'm going to show you the browns that I have. So we got the Edelweiss, and then I want to get the name of the color for you guys. This one is called Gray Birch. So this one is more of a brownish gray. So I didn't want to use it in lieu of the Blizzard because I just thought it had too much brown in it. So there's these together. And then the medium brown is called Spice. And this is really beautiful kind of a orangish reddish brown there. And then the last one is called, what is it called? Put these down, I can't carry everything. The last one is Alpine Shadow. And so that is this one, is this darkest brown. So together, those browns with the cream look like this. So I think that those are going to be so beautiful together. And so I went ahead, once I got the Blizzard in the mail a couple days ago, I went ahead and I wound everything up. So it is ready to go. But I wanted to finish the hippo, and I wanted to make sure that my test knit for Annie was finished. So I haven't started it yet. Also, I am toying with the idea of doing the an inner layer of the mitten, and I ordered some yarn the other day from Woolfolk. I think it might be called Fleet, and I don't know, I have a feeling it's going to work really well for the inside of these mittens, but it's really hard to tell over the internet, like if something is exactly what you think it is. But just from reading the description, I think it might work. But I just picked up just an extra skein in a color that would go, like a brown that would go with the mittens, because I was ordering it to use in another test knit that I have for Annie that is coming up due in April. So I said, you know what, I think that this might really work as the inner fleecy layer of the mitten. So now I've got that on the way, but I can start with the color work part. I don't know if I'll get it started this week or not. Like, it's like spring is coming up, but I'm going to knit these mittens now so that they don't get totally forgotten about. And that way, Bryce will have them ready to go next fall when it starts to get cold. And like, he's not one that is worried at all about being trendy or anything like that. Like, he'll be happy to have some really beautiful warm mittens, and we've pretty much been Bernie fans for a long time. You know, whether we vote for him or not, he's just somebody that we enjoy. We enjoy Vermont, and so using the Green Mountain Spinnery yarn is like a tribute to his Vermont connection as well. So yeah, so that is where my Bernie mittens are looking like right now. I have made another step toward actually casting on. So maybe those will get cast on this week, but I know that some of you guys were asking about that, so I wanted to fill you in. And also I wanted to pass along the pattern that I will be using, because when I talked about them before, I didn't have a pattern in mind. I was thinking maybe I'll try to figure this out on my own. And I'm so glad that I don't have to worry about that now. Just with everything else I've got going on, that was kind of feeling like a lot of pressure to just try to figure out a mitten pattern when I'm not a designer. So, I mean, I'm sure I could, but I do have a lot of other knitting projects going on right now. So yeah, so it's just easier to just use somebody else's pattern, and I'm really happy to do that. So that will be linked up in the description box in case anybody is wanting to join me and knit some Bernie mittens and have them look closer to the original. I'll have that linked up there. In my Ravelry group, I think one person has actually finished some Bernie mittens. I did open up a thread. It's not a discussion thread because I didn't want anybody talking about politics in there or anything. I just wanted it to be like Bernie mittens. And I have a little giveaway pin. I have it right here. I'll pull it out. And for anybody who joins me and completes a pair of Bernie mittens, I'm not really sure how long I'm going to leave this open for, but I have this cute little polymer clay pin that Leo from An Ocean of Clay had made, and he gifted me just one extra pin so that I could use it in like a little giveaway. And so yeah, so if you guys make Bernie mittens, make sure that you post your finished mittens in that thread in my Ravelry group. It's Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast group on Ravelry. And who knows, maybe you'll win a little Bernie mitten pin, which would be really fun. So that is everything that that's kind of in the works right now. I have a lot of things that I'm interested in casting on. I have a pair of St. Patty's Day socks that I'm hoping to get cast on this week as well. I don't have the yarn pulled out to show you guys, but I can go grab that really quick. Hang on, because I want to make that happen. I'm not going to pull it out. It's going to be too much of a pain to dig it out right now. But yeah, I have a really fun St. Patty's Day yarn that is a sock yarn from What the Flock company. I think he's a male that runs that company. I don't know his name, but it's like a green yarn with like rainbow stripes in it, I think. Or it's green with rainbow speckles. I don't know if it's self-striping or not. So I forgot to knit those up last year for St. Patty's Day. So like it's been on my mind, like I really want to get those socks cast on. So I'm probably going to at least get them cast on this week. I mean, you see where my Valentine's Day socks are. Those didn't happen. I've got a single Valentine's Day sock right now. But it would be fun to at least be working on some St. Patty's Day socks during the month of March and over the week of St. Patrick's Day. So I'm hoping to get those cast on. Other than that, though, it's just going to be starting to get ready for my next round of projects, which I'm really, really looking forward to. A couple of them are test knits. I've got 2 more test knits. One of them I have to dig through my stash and put a whole bunch of different yarns together and figure out what I'm going to use. And I need to do that soon because I need to get that started, because that one's going to be like some 3-color knitting. So it might be a little slow. And the other one, yarn is on the way, coming to me. I don't have it to show you yet. I do have a little bit of acquisitions that I can show you guys. So I'm going to go round those up. And if acquisitions are not your jam and you're not interested in seeing that stuff, I just wanted to take a quick moment and say thank you so much for watching my podcast and hanging out with me. I always appreciate spending time with you guys and interacting in the comments. I love hearing what you guys think of projects that I'm working on and just any feedback that you guys give me about anything. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my new lighting situation that is going on. My poor llama. I got this cute little llama at Target, and it's just one of these like LED things where the light changes color. He ran out of battery, so I have to get new batteries for him. But I think this is my first podcast where he's not been lighting up, but that's just a little fun thing that I like going on. But yeah, I think the lighting that my husband picked up for me is a big improvement. At least I hope it is. So let me know what you guys think about that. I am doing the best that I can recording. I have to do it in my basement. I do enjoy doing it outside, but these few months have been extremely cold and not able to do that with the amount of snow that we've been getting and all of that. So yeah, I'm trying to make it work in my basement, which has 0 natural light at all. So this is just where my knitting stuff is. And I just thought it would be nice to at least do my podcast like in front of some knitting books and things like that so that it was relevant. Yeah, so let me know what you think about the lighting. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you guys next week with a new episode. And if you are sticking around, I'm going to show you some acquisitions next. Okay, so acquisitions. A lot of those have been happening lately. But, okay, this first one, when it came out the first time, before Christmas, I wanted it so badly, but I couldn't do it at that time. We had Owen's birthday, we had Christmas coming up, and as much as I wanted it, I just couldn't do it. And then I almost did it, and then but when I almost did it, it was sold out already. So I was like, okay, that was just a sign that it wasn't meant to be, at least not then. So what I'm talking about is Susan B. Anderson from Barrett Wilco does the most amazing kits of like stuffed animals and stuffed things. And at Christmas time, she had her Sven and Solveig kit. And so this is like just a little label, I am going to insert a picture because these guys are adorable. I love these guys. I fell in love, and I want these for our Christmases for like forever. I want to make these. I want them to be passed down through the family. I love these guys. They're so cute. And so a couple of weeks ago, I was finishing up teaching on Zoom, and I was just hanging up with my student, and flashing on my screen popped up an email, and I saw the headline, and it said, surprise restock of these kits. And I didn't even think about it. I just went right over there, and like 2 minutes after I got the email, I had checked out. And what is so fantastic about these is that for this batch, these booklets, these cute little booklets, so who wrote this pattern? The creator of the pattern, Carol Anderson, is the designer of this pattern. And this pattern, I think it's from like the 80s. Like it has been around for a long time. I think since the 80s. Maybe I have that wrong, but I'll try to double check that if I remember. Look at the back. I mean, you got the back of the gnome on the back of the pattern. But so what is special though about this is that she decided to retire these pattern booklets, and she had like 50 left in stock. Then she decided to sell them to Susan to be able to include with the kits. And so she also signed them. So I have an original like signed little booklet, and you're never going to be able to get this again. So that was like really, really exciting. All right. And so then what Susan does is she put like a guide to the kit that she put together. So I didn't really read this yet, but she basically like gives you the list of colors that she used in the sequence so that you can like recreate her version of this. You don't have to recreate her version, but her version is so good. So I've got that, and I'm just gonna show you what comes in the kit. So I'll have posted the picture so you can see it, but I mean, she always includes like a little tin of stitch markers. I don't feel like I need to open that for you guys. They're just those little light bulb stitch markers. And there's all of, I'm gonna just kind of hold this up open and see if you guys, because I don't want to take them all out. But so like all, you can't really see, I might have to take them out. There we go. And like all of those different colors in there. So like all the yarn you need to make both of these guys, the girl and the boy, and like just a little bit of yarn to do, you know, like some of the details. And then she included also, I'll show you what's in this little pouch. It's really cute. It's like some special locks of like sheep. Oh gosh, it's like there's even still stuff like sheepy stuff in it. It's like locks of sheep that like you could use for like the beard and stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so soft. It is so shiny. It is so cute. So that was a total impulse. I didn't think I was going to be able to ever get it again. And then because she doesn't restock everything every year, there's some things that I missed out on that I have not seen her put back in the shop that I'm kind of pretty bummed about. Now, I mean, I can still get the pattern and make my own version of it, which is fine. But kits are always like really nice. It's like it's all contained in here, ready to go for you. So that slipped into my cart really quickly. And yeah, so that came. Actually, that one came like before the last episode, but I wanted to keep last week's acquisitions just to what I had gotten at Brooklyn General. So this was something I've had for a couple weeks now. And then had another accidental slippage into my shopping cart moment. So Tabitha from Long Island Yarn and Farm. She is super active on Instagram, but what I have realized lately is that she is super active on Instagram stories. She doesn't really post to her timeline, but she is constantly posting to her stories. What I have also learned is that she does something called Fiber Room Fridays. So Fiber Room Fridays is where she goes through her office and her storage and all that stuff, and she comes up with basically imperfect skeins of yarn and whatever, and she tells you what's imperfect about it. Usually it's nothing really serious, but it's just things that didn't quite meet her top quality standard for her to be able to sell at full price, that she just does not have listed on the website or like out when you can go to her shop, like out in the open. Mostly when you can go to her shop is at a festival, and those haven't exactly been happening recently. Yeah, so everything's been happening online, and so I discovered that I was on last Friday, and she posted something, and I snatched it up. I don't usually do that. I usually just like flip through her stories and just like let other people take the things. But let me show you what I got. I have a shawl that I wear all the time that is in a similar color, not exactly the same color, but she posted just this one skein of this worsted weight yarn, and I do have the tag, it's just not attached. All right, so I'll tell you what is the fiber content in here is so pretty. But I love how it's like a brown, but then it's got the specks of basically every single color. And so I snatched this up because I wanted to make a hat, and she gives you a free pattern for the hat that she has been advertising to go along with any skein of worsted weight yarn that you purchase from her. You can get this pattern. And so I don't remember the name of the pattern, but anyway, so this is a one-of-a-kind skein, and she called it Odromeda, and it's 100 yards of a worsted weight yarn, and it is 60% alpaca, 30% merino wool, and 10% sari silk. And so I'm gonna just make this hat out of it, and I think that is gonna be just the perfect thing to go with my shawl. You guys will see, I'll post a picture of me wearing the shawl so that you guys can have an idea of what I'm talking about, since I don't have it down here. But I thought that this would go really well with it, and that shawl is something that I wear often when the weather is like a little bit cool, where you want an extra layer of something, but not quite jacket, coat weather yet. So I thought to have it like a hat that would go with that shawl would be kind of a perfect thing for like that in-between weather. So I bought this with a specific purpose in mind. I actually want to knit this up really soon. So this might be getting cast on and off really quick. I think it'll be a really quick knit. So, okay. And then while I was there too, I had seen somebody, these I have shown these to you guys before. I did not just get these. So these were her limited edition Valentine colors that I picked up. Like she had like 7. I picked up like 2 of the colors. And I had seen somebody make, along with these 2 colors, they did like an Andrea Mowry shift with like these 3 colors together. And it looked so pretty. I don't know if I'll do that, but I really liked the 3 colors together. And so I picked up just one skein of the Conversation Hearts color. So this was also from her Valentine's Day limited edition collection. I think she still has some of this color. So I picked up that. And then I was watching her, she came on Instagram Live, and I popped on. And she was showing some future yarns that she has coming out later this month to celebrate her sheep Clover, who is going to be 3, I think. 3 years old, maybe 2 years old. I want to say 3. And a few months ago, like a month or so ago, she lost her sheep, Lily. And Lily was really special to her. And so that was really devastating and sad. But so she has been coming up with like green yarns for the month of March. So she's got a bunch of fun things coming out. And that stuff's not even out yet, so I don't have that. I was able to see it though when I was there, and it's really nice. She came up with a yarn that is using the fiber from both clover and another yarn that has like Lily's fiber contributed to it. So it's not like pure clover wool yarn, and it's not pure Lily, but both of those sheep contributed to the different yarns that she has coming out. But she also had just gotten like a whole bunch of just the fiber back. And so I picked up some of the fiber that she has. And so I wanted to show you guys the difference. I had her write on the bag who was who. So clover is a white, it's a Cotswold sheep. And so this is Clover's fleece. It's not purely her fleece. It's mixed in with some other things, but this is the contribution that Clover made. And then Lily's, I definitely wanted to pick up Lily's since she's no longer with them. And I had seen Lily and pet Lily so many times. So now I have some fiber that Lily contributed to as well. And this is just a really beautiful, like natural, kind of like a light gray. So I'll just show you guys the difference. So she's a Cotswold too, but she was a naturally colored one. And then Clover is a white. So I just wanted to show you guys the difference in the colors between the two sheep there. So that was really cool. So that was everything that I picked up from Miss Tabitha last weekend. It was muddy there again. I brought Owen with me to visit the llamas too, and it had just been raining and everything, and so it was a muddy mess again. We are going to be doing an interview really pretty soon. We are just waiting for the weather to get nicer so that her farm looks as great as it can for the interview. So we don't want it to be muddy. Ideally, it'll be a little bit warmer because we will be spending a lot of time outside for the interview part and the farm tour. So we are waiting for the weather to just start to spring up a little bit before we actually schedule that. So yeah. So that was what I got from Tabitha. And then I have one other thing, which is kind of funny, I think. Yeah, take a sip of my tea. Hold on. And so then the other day, day before yesterday, I got in the mail this whole bag of yarn. This is for Bryce. This is not for me. I mean, it is for me, but ultimately it's going to be for Bryce. Because I don't know why. I saw, somebody posted on Instagram the pattern for these boxer shorts. And I just thought, boxer shorts, like, I could knit him boxer shorts. That would be kind of different and fun. He's never going to model them for you guys. You guys don't have to worry about that. Not going to go there with this. But, and they're small skeins, so that's why I needed to pick up a bunch, because it's a lot of yardage for boxer shorts. Apparently it's like more than socks. So I don't know. This might be like the best idea I've had. It might also be a really bad idea. But, so there's no wool in this. So this is Boxy from Haiku. See, look at those lights. You can actually see the label now. That's really nice. So the Boxy, the Ko stands for cotton. The Ba stands for bamboo, and the Si stands for silk. So this is a cotton bamboo silk blend. And so like these two are going to go together for that pair. shorts, and then I think she might have sent me the wrong color, but that's okay. This looks more grays. There was supposed to be blues mixed in with it. I think she sent me the wrong color. That's okay though, not a big deal. So that was supposed to go with that. I picked up just 2 more because I needed to get free shipping, and I was $10 away from free shipping, and I wasn't gonna pay $8 for shipping when I could pay $10 and get yarn. I mean, right? So I'd rather pay an extra $2 but get yarn from the deal than pay $2 less but have all that money go to shipping. So I got these, and so I'm not really sure. I mean, this is a lot here. I bought enough to make 2, and it just all fell. I bought enough to make him 2 pairs of boxer shorts, but there should be plenty of extra to like recombine in different ways. I'm hoping to make at least one, like a 3rd pair, maybe a 4th pair. But I thought that would be kind of a good like summer project to work on knitting those. Like I'll be doing a lot of teaching still over the summer. I'll be on Zoom a lot, and then that way like it looks like a lot of mindless stockinette knitting, but there won't be wool in it, so it shouldn't be like as hot to knit on. So yeah, so that's a bunch of future underwear for my husband. So I'll definitely be showing you guys that as I work on it. But that is everything that I have for you guys today. I think that this has been a really full episode. Thank you all for hanging out with me. And if you haven't subscribed already, yada yada, do all of that fun stuff. And I will see you guys again next week wearing the worsted Boxy. I am promising you that because that just has to get off the needles. All right, have a great week. Bye. My bye just sounded like a ba.